Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Ella of the oWy Scribbles. It's Craft Friday once again, and today we are doing something that I have promised long before. These are the phone case inserts. These are just a rectangular piece of paper that you insert on your jelly or silicone case like that. So that's why it's called phone case insert. So this is what people use when they want to use different designs or see different designs on their phone cases. Of course, you can always buy phone cases every month or every year, I'm not sure, but to make it cheaper, if you want a cheaper version, because it can be costly if you keep on buying phone cases, then phone case insert is for you. So today we are doing two designs. These are all floral designs. The first one is this one, and the second one is loose florals. Before we get started, let me introduce the materials that you'll be needing for this design. But of course, you can always use whatever you have at home or in your school. But just these are the materials that you need. It depends on your design, and for this design I am using all of these. Here I am using a Fabriana watercolor paper. This one is remember, the watercolor paper has two sides, so one has the rough edges and the other one is smooth. So make sure not to use the smooth one but the rough edge, so that the color would hold on to the paper. I already have here, this is actually an old one, so I just have to wet this. I already have a green one and a pink. I am using these colors to mix. I only have my primary colors and white one, so I use this for this pink blush. So of course more on white and less on red to have that pink tint. So my flowers for today will be the pinkish color, and I'll also mix a little bit of orange. So let's start mixing the orange and the red color. So just a little bit of the red one. So if you don't really have a lot of colors on your watercolor, you do not need to buy a new one. You know, we were all taught how to mix colors. Orange and red and yellow makes the color orange, so you do not really have to mix. And once you are using watercolor, remember to have a tissue on hand, so that when you brush more of when you have a lot of liquid on your brush, you can dab it here. For this project, I'm using two brushes. This one is a round type brush here. The round type brush holds a lot of water, and also this small one. So I'm not gonna use this for painting, just for dipping onto the colors. We will start by trying to achieve this flower here. So the color of this one is yellow orange. Yes. So now we will make another similar flower but in pink, but of course you can always use your other color. So we start by making 4 dots. Okay, so make sure the pigment is thick and a little watery. Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect because we will spread it later. Okay, so now we have this. Now we will be using our round brush. As I said, round brush holds a lot of water. So we will use the round brush to spread this pigment. So for example, from this dot, okay, so from this dot, we spread it outwards like this, so. Okay, so you use the belly of the brush to spread, just dab it, not really outwards, but dab a little bit, like this. And then we go with the other dot, spreading outward. And then this one too. So if your brush doesn't have water anymore, oops, that's a lot of water. So spread it outwards like this, so. And then for the other one, you can always like twist the paper, change position, but in my case I'm just gonna do it like this. So the color will slowly spread because of the paper that we're using, and of course with the brush. We just have to let it dry, this one, and then we'll make another flower here. So I decided to make the same pink color, the 4-petal flower. I have here a tint of brownish purple, so I just mix red and dark blue. So this color, I'm gonna be using this, and I'm gonna be dipping on more water, putting warm water, so it'll be more pigmented. And then from there, we're just gonna have to put dots here on the flower, here at this middle part. Okay, and the rest too. So if it spreads, it doesn't matter. It's okay. That's here. The reason why it has to dry is because it will spread like this. So what I'm gonna do is just get a brush, dab it on tissue, and then you can remove the color if you want to, or it can, it's okay. So this will be like a purple tint, this one. Alright, okay, so let's just remove a little bit of this pink here. Now once these flowers are dry, you can make other set of flowers, maybe in 3s or in 2s. So we'll put it here. Why? Because our phone is kind of this big, it's rectangular, so if you do not make another design, then this bar will be empty. It's just white, so we'll make other flowers here. of this are dry, we will start adding the leaves. So for the leaf, I'm using this green color here, maybe a bit darker. So from here, it's difficult because I'm gonna use the whole belly of the brush for the leaves. So I'm gonna be using this lid, this disposable lid, to, as you can see, the whole belly of the brush is full of green pigment. Now the leaves need a lot of practice, and I'm not really good at it yet, but we'll just try. Anyway, we will be able to polish this later with our technical pen. So from here, I'm gonna make a thin stroke. From that thin stroke, use the belly of the brush and slowly release. Oh, that's a very long leaf. And then another one here too. And then slowly release. Okay. That's okay if the color got into the flower. And then from this one here, using the same stroke, release. Oops. And then another stroke here, and then slowly release. Okay, so if it's imperfect, don't worry because we will polish this. And then here, we'll put another leaf here. On this side, the same thing. Thin stroke, bend the brush, and then slowly release. And another one. Oh, I think that's okay, just one. But here, we'll just use a bigger leaf. Okay, so that's it. And then moving here, it's the same thing. And also at this side, because I just dropped a green pigment, so we're just gonna use this part here. Okay, so now we're done with that. So we'll make it dry, completely dry, and then we'll move on with our technical pen. So now, as we are waiting for the flowers to dry, we will start with the loose roses, watercolor roses. So still we have to use our color. I'm going to be using the orange one. So for the watercolor roses, loose watercolor roses, we start with a circular stroke. So very pigmented, as you can see. So we're going to start with really small circular strokes, broken circular, so maybe like this one. Okay, and then we're going to start with this one here. So that's the inner part of the rose. Now we're going to dip our watercolor for more water. Still dip it on the tint that you wanted, but this time there will be more water. So from here you continue with your circular, but you have to spread it like that. Okay, so you use the belly of the brush for this circular rose. Don't worry, it will come together anyway. Now, so this time, dip the brush in the water, and then so just water. There's no pigment in here. We will make another one here. So just let the pigment spread from the inner circle of that. And here you get another pigment. And then dip it a little. And then there, it will slowly spread. So we will try to get rid of the really big white spaces. This one. But do not cover them though, because they're really useful. So it will look very much like a real rose. Okay, so now we are done with that. Just let it dry. We'll start a new one. Maybe still we will use pink. So start with the same thing. So now we have two roses. What we will do is continue with the leaves. So just like before, we make these this way. Okay, so it doesn't really have to be perfect. This is good as it is, like this. Okay, so we'll just let it dry and go back to the flowers that we had painted. So now, as you can see, the flowers have already dried. So now let's grab our technical pen or drawing pen. Here I'm using Sakura Micron. It's actually nice. I'm using the 0.5 one. You can always use any technical pencil for this. For this design, what we will do now is we will trace. So, for example, our flowers here, we trace it like this way. So you do not have to follow the color of the flowers. You can always do, for example, like this one. Okay. Let me bring it closer to you guys. So the color, the watercolor pigment is until here, but I drew more than that. That's okay. And then for this one, you can always just go like this. And then here. And then here. Okay, that one. So we're gonna trace everything that way. So I am done tracing the leaves, and if you can see here, I added other leaves. I just made here, that one. So when we are done with this, as you can see, if the leaf is imperfect, that's okay, because you can actually reshape it or draw the leaves with the technical pen. So this one. So what we're going to do now is we will polish this one. So as you know, our flowers need texture, so we will put small lines here. For this one, I'm going to be changing my technical pen to a 0.2. No, sorry, 0.3. If you do not have other technical pen with another number, so you can always go with whatever you have. But I'm using a thinner one to make lines this way, so it won't be really obvious. So I'm just gonna do that with the rest of the petals, and then we'll go straight to the leaves. Now our flower has texture. So you can add small dots in the middle this way. Okay, and then for the leaves, what we will do is, as you can see in this phone insert, we already traced the leaves, and for those that we did not, we will add these lines here, but we'll be using our micron 5 this way, and then just straight lines going like this way. I am done with this one. So what I'm gonna do now is trace the design. Now you can always use your phone, but in this video I'm using my phone to film this, so I'm gonna be using my silicone case. So whichever design you want. So here I want it like this way. So maybe this. Okay. So I'm gonna trace it using my pencil. Okay. Remember, when you start cutting this one, the phone case is much bigger than your phone, so you have to cut at least maybe 2 centimeters from that one. Okay, so I'll start cutting. I have here a thing that I cut, so this is perfect for the phone case. What we have to do is trace the hole for your camera. Now my phone case is a bit old, so the design is not very clear, and the color that we use today, and like this one. So if you have a clearer phone case, then subtle colors will do, pastel colors will do, but for this case, that is why I use this color, because my phone case is quite old, so it will like pop up when I put it here. So now we will trace our camera. And now that we are done tracing our camera, what we have to do is you just have to cut this part. You can use a cutter, or you can use a scissor if you want. Ta-da! I am finished cutting. I just use scissors for this. So now you can always put it this way. Ta-da! Now you have your very own phone case insert. I will still have to finish this one. I'm not going to be showing how I will do this. Anyway, you got the idea of how I did this first one. So I'm going to be tracing this and show you later how it will look like, and it's already a phone case insert.